Hey everyone, my name is the Diamond Fox. Before we get off doing this stuff, I just want to say that you might hear some stuff in the background. Just disregard that, and my fan is running right now because it's super hot. So, yeah. So today I wanted to talk about the identity of the Pyro. Now this is an ongoing topic in the TF2 community, and I thought I'd share my opinion on it. And we should talk about the actual evidence that you find in the actual game, as in when you're playing the game, when you're in a match. It doesn't matter what match, usually on every game you can find this. So if you look at the lockers, each class has, the things they put in it, their own personal things. And you see the Pyro has two things. Now everyone knows about the purse, which doesn't really mean that much nowadays. Now that you can wear whatever you want, do whatever you want, be whoever you want. So, a lot of people are saying that the purse means something, but I really don't think it means much. But we'll get onto that, so keep this in mind. And another thing you can find, which I've brought up before in other videos, is if you look on the left of the shelf, hanging on it, you'll see a mask. As in the mask the Pyro wears. Which probably means something that we'll bring up again later. Now the second thing we should look at is the Meet the Pyro video. And by this I don't mean Pyroland. I think Pyroland is just like a mental condition or a state of mind, schizophrenia, something like that. What I actually wanted to mention is what the spy says during his interview, which is, here let me see, one fears to know what inhumane thoughts lie behind that mask. Now this makes me think a few things. One is the Pyro, or the other mercenaries in the group, as in every other class, know that the Pyro can take his mask off, or her mask off, because the spy says, what lies behind the mask, what thoughts lie behind the mask. Now this isn't confirmed evidence that it is true, but if we're gonna think about it, I think we know that the Pyro is a human, not a robot, not a clone. I don't think any of the mercenaries are clones, and I have a whole script written for that, so I can get into that another days. I have lots of evidence, much more than this, that we can get into, but I doubt any of them are clones. So that means the Pyro is a human, and if the Pyro is a human, that obviously means you have to, eat and sleep. And he probably doesn't do that with the mask on. And the spy even says what the thoughts lie behind the mask, which doesn't necessarily mean anything, but if you think about it, it may. Now let's talk about the comics. And if you haven't read the comics, then this might be a bit of a spoiler, but I'm trying to keep everything condensed so that I'm not giving away too much. Now, if you haven't read the comics, I'd recommend skipping. I'll probably put an annotation in here so that, I'm sorry about the background noise, so that, oh my god, so that, you can, skip the spoilers. So, oh my god, this is the apartment I live in, the apartments, all of them. You can hear screaming a mile away. Alright. In the comics, the soldier and the scout, if I'm not mistaken, are looking for the Pyro. I'm not going to tell you why. You can read the comics if you already haven't. When they track her down, or him, it shows the world from the eyes of the Pyro. Now, alright, I'm going to say a spoiler right here. The Pyro is working in an office building. And the Pyro is still in the exact same uniform that he was wearing when he was a merc. I got a Steam message. Got a reply to that. So when you see the world from the eyes of the Pyro in the comics, it's obviously Pyroland. It doesn't look like Pyroland. It looks more like a 1960s cartoon kind of thing. But I like the art style. Anyway. Oh, and by the way, in the comics, what I meant to mention is the Pyro acts a lot like a dog. Sorry about that. So the Pyro acts a lot like a dog, which I find kind of weird. read the NG comic. It's, well, one of them. And I just think that's kind of weird. He doesn't really act like a human in the comics. He does whatever he's told. Anyway, I'm not saying that the Pyro is a dog, and you know, in that outfit. That'd be pretty stupid if it turned out to be that. But what I mainly want to mention is the comics really don't show a lot about the Pyro, which is kind of weird because you'd think the comics would show all they could about each character, which they do actually. Another thing about the comics has nothing to do with the Pyro. If you've played TF2 for more than 5 minutes, you'll know that the Heavy act's pretty, I don't want to call it stupid, as he's actually smart. But in the comics, he doesn't have that dialogue, that like kind of stuttering and words missing. He doesn't have that at all, and he doesn't scream or anything. He's all cool, calm, and collected. And I think that's kind of weird from the regular game. I like that better, by the way. But all I want to say is, there's not a lot you can get out of the comics, except the Pyro is in an office building that is completely women. At least that's what it shows. In the office building he works in, there are no men. So I was just thinking, if the Pyro is out of a job killing people and lighting them on fire, he'd go work with women. Maybe it was just a coincidence, maybe not. That's all I wanted to bring up, because that's all I could find in the comics going through all of them. And we'll talk again about the actual game, as her behavior changes throughout the game. For example, when you're doing taunts, sometimes the Pyro will act like the female stereotype. Like, you know, jumping up and down, clapping the hands, the gender role, as most people would call it. And then sometimes he acts like he's a gangster, you know? Like the male gender role personality, which is kind of, I mean, I don't think there's such a thing as gender roles, but whatever. So, I don't think this is, has anything to do about if the Pyro is male, female, or a dog. Which I don't think. This could just be something that has to do with his schizophrenia, as most people are calling it. It's kind of seems like he has dual personalities. You know, like some people actually have in real life. One minute there'll be something, and the other minute there'll be another thing. That could be it. That could be it. But I mean, you don't really know. Valve does these things really well, actually, like confusing you. But I just wanted to share that sometimes he acts like one thing, and another time she acts like another thing. And now the last piece of information that really got me to make this video is, I'm sure all of you watching this video have seen Game Theory's Pyro video. And before, if anyone watches this, which I doubt it'll get that much views compared to my others, Game Theory concludes that the Pyro is a gay male. Now, I completely disagree with this, because he gave a whole bunch of physical tests to find out if this is true. So I decided, you know, I'll do these tests in real life to see what I come up with. So, not only me, I did it more than one person. So I went and collected information. And I completely got random results. And I made sure I got the results right, you know, testing multiple times. Now, I think I came up with, for the finger length test, I was at least a woman. Or a lesbian, gay woman. Which I'm not, and I think another woman, an actual one, got a man. So I don't really think these tests are very foolproof. I could be wrong. I could not be. But I mean, you never really know because of how Valve works, if everything is gonna end up the right way. I'm sure when they went into it, like, hey, let's make TF2, I'm sure they didn't say, yeah, let's make this ongoing thing where we're not gonna tell them that the Pyro's a dude or a gal. I like that word. Anyway, that's really all the hard information I can find. You can find lots of little tidbits here and there and everywhere, but I couldn't really find anything too juicy. So I'm going to conclude my tests and my test information that it is inconclusive. But if you want to know what I want, if I got to pick, if I went to Valve and they're like, hey, want to choose what the Pyro is, honestly, I'd probably choose just any race of female, woman, girl, just because it'll make the characters more diverse, and I like that. I think that's something that got me into TF2 or more invested, is the characters are all different from each other. Now, let me talk about something real fast that I haven't really mentioned. It's about my channel, so the Pyro part's kind of out of the way. This part, bringing it back in about my channel. So, you might have noticed that in the last few days I haven't posted a video. This is for multiple reasons. I am in a clan. I am the clan recruiter. I have to do a whole bunch, do tests, interviews, blah blah blah, and there are a whole bunch of people I have to do every day. So that has really been getting on me, and then I have to manage the clan, and I'm an admin, so you know, you gotta do all that. And it's been really taking a lot of time out of my day, as well as, you know, working on everything, not just YouTube. I mean, I want to make YouTube my first priority, but I really can't, because, you know, life gets in the way. But that's it. Oh, by the way, tomorrow I have a video written. I have a lot of videos written. A really funny one, at least in my opinion, but, you know, I might just cut out some of the funny parts, because, you know, scripts are boring. And usually when I cut out the script, it's even more boring. Just put it here in my hand. You can probably hear the paper. Anyway, I just wanted to share my opinion on that topic. Go check out Game Theory. It's one of the best channels on YouTube. I've watched all their videos like 10 times. I say hi for me, Matt Pat. Great guy, makes great videos. So, I will see you all later, and I hope that tomorrow I will have another video out, the one I wrote right here. I will see you on the flip side. That could be my new outro. I've done it before, but I mean, alright, I'm rambling now.
We have lost the control point.